everybody. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Talk. I am so excited to have Angela here with me. So I'm really appreciative of you coming on. From my understanding, this is your first live.
It is.
Yay! Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm really proud that one, you said yes. And two, is there a reason or this is the first opportunity that popped up?
It's just the first opportunity. I've been an entrepreneur for 14 months now. So it's the first time somebody asked and I said, yes, let's go.
Nice. And you're going to get more and more now.
No, this is going to be fun. I can already tell.
Oh, it's a blessing to have you here. This is just what I always tell everybody. This is just real talk entrepreneurial life. So the main thing is just really giving your story and giving our journey as entrepreneurs, but really what transcribed us to be an entrepreneur alone. So I read your bio and I salute you for being an officer and salute you for being a respiratory therapist, first and foremost. Got to give you credit where credit is due.
Thank you.
But I really want to understand, I want to know your story more. So where did you go from law enforcement to respiratory therapist to now becoming an entrepreneur?
All right. Oh man, I was a correctional officer, which wasn't the best idea I've ever had, but that was before I knew to turn my will and my life over to my higher power. So I did that for 6 years. I was assaulted by an inmate and it was perfect for me at the time because I was drinking. I'm an alcoholic and I had been drinking for 16 years. Almost every single day I was drunk. So that just meant I got to sit at home, get paid as if I was there, get paid full time, and I got to drink all day. And with all my madness and the nonsense and the disaster. And so that's what I did. And 3 months into that, I was still not back at work. I was still acting a fool and I got sober. Went to the first meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous and I've been sober ever since. So I'll be 14 years sober the beginning of February. And
congratulations for that.
Thank you. I wish that I would have heard more about people's journeys and things of addiction and that sort of thing when I was in my disease, because I think that would have helped me a lot. Yeah, my pleasure talking about that.
Yeah. And
when I got sober, everything changed. When I got sober, I was with my sponsor and I hit my knees to do the third step in Alcoholics Anonymous, which is turn your will and your life over to your higher power. And I did. I hit my knees and I gave everything over to God. And I said, my relationship, my career, whatever you think what needs to happen next, please. And like that, I heard respiratory therapist. And I said, with all due respect, sir, what the fuck is that? Like I had no idea what I know is one of the body systems, one of the 15 body systems, a respiratory system, but I didn't know like that was a thing, a career. Yeah. And so I just stayed silent. And a couple of minutes later, I heard Rady Children's Hospital, San Diego. I love kids. So the very next day I walked into college and I said, hey, I'm here to go to school and be a respiratory therapist. I'm going to work at Rady Children's Hospital. And there's about 15 people in the office. And everyone started laughing at me, saying that wasn't going to happen. That was the third best children's hospital in the world. And the chances were slim to none. And I said, laugh it up. Say what you're going to say. But what do I need to do? Where do I need to sign? Let's go.
Yeah. And then you did. You became a respiratory therapist.
There was over 900 applications, 105 interviews, and 6 of us got hired in that cohort.
Wow. To become a respiratory therapist for the Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
Talk about divine.
Big time. Those are one of the biggest blessings of my sobriety to date, for sure.
Yeah. And how is your journey now being at one of the world-class children's hospital? And my understanding is you're in the ER.
Yes, I was in the ER. Yes.
How was that journey?
It was amazing. I loved it. It was such a blessing to be there with the kiddos, to help them I was in the trauma room for 9 years and just being able to be there to comfort the parents and just to do what I do was an incredible experience. But the whole time I had this feeling that even though I loved it and I felt like it was one of the biggest blessings of my sobriety, I felt like I was meant for more. So in 2019, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that just shifted my mindset. Everybody told me to go to school, to get a job, to make somebody else rich. And I felt like there was something else. So I left 14 months ago. I walked away from the hospital. I walked in my house and I told my wife, hey, I don't want to go back there anymore. I said, I want to be a life coach. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. And she, in a nanosecond, she looked at me, she said, good, that's what you're supposed to do. I live in San Diego. I have a mortgage. I have dogs. I have a lot of responsibilities. And I just stepped out in faith, and it's been amazing.
So last September, it's either last September or the September prior. My ears are all blurred at this moment. I came home one day and I told my husband, I said, I want to be a full-time coach. This is what I'm meant to do. I want to be a nurse coach. And yes, I don't only coach nurses. I coach everybody, but in general. And he told me the same thing. He goes, then quit. And I was like, are you kidding me? And he goes, yeah, quit. He goes, he says, I love how when you're in the right time, the right place, the right circumstances, when you're walking into a home, right? And the love that and the support you get from a spouse is undeniable. And one of the biggest things of how people are even more successful in what they're doing in life. It's that love and connection that I tell people that sometimes people can be super successful and not have it, and they can develop it. It's not that you need that. But what I'm saying is that it's nice when you're in a relationship, you do have mortgage. I had 3 kids. I had a dog. Like, I have 3 kids with special needs too. So like, you're telling me, my husband, you're telling me you want to quit a stable job that's bringing in stable income, and you want to do what? And it's a big thing, right?
Yeah, when she said that's what you're supposed to be doing, I'm like, why didn't you tell me sooner? Really? We walked away at the same time. For me, it was September.
Wow. Mine was like Labor Day. Mine was in September. Mine was literally Labor Day. So that weekend, I went home. I think I was working that weekend or something happened. I put in my resignation. And to be honest with you, my managers never even called me. I had to actually literally reply to them saying, did you get my resignation letter? Hello? Do you remember? I put it in. And I remember that a Labor Day weekend, I went to work and I told my husband, I was like, I don't know if I'm going back. I think this might be my last day. And sure enough, I quit. I didn't even resign at that point. I was like, someone's, oh, you can't quit. You still have to give us 2 weeks. Someone pissed me off. And you know what I did? I took my badge off. I'm serious. I just took my badge off. I was like, deuces. And they were like, what do you mean? I'm like, I quit. I'm out. And they were like, but you're not gonna, nope. No, I'm out. Like, I already got okay from my husband. I got okay from the higher being. I'm content with myself. And I don't want anybody to put the victim card on me to guilt me to coming back or to guilt me for X, Y, and Z, which is a whole nother topic within itself. But so I'm proud of you. We both just said,
yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm done. Stick a fork in me.
And then what did you do afterwards?
I just got busy. I hired a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
And she helped me out and pointed me in the right directions. And I just got obsessed. And I am passionate and relentless about my personal development. I started reading a book every week. Like, I'm just constant, just so much growth. And I go to things and events, and I'm a motivational speaker. So I started speaking. People started asking me to speak because I declared I am the best motivational speaker on planet Earth. And once I said that,
yeah,
this comes. I speak in Phoenix.
You do speak in Phoenix. Yes.
I'm excited about that. Or in January, end of January.
Yeah, which is just actually in about we see each other in about a month.
Yeah, it's almost Christmas.
That creeped up on me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, someone's house. I was like, oh yeah, Christmas is in. Oh dang.
Yeah, the older I get, I blink. It's Christmas again. I'm like, oh. I
don't think they can deny it. Christmas is now out before Halloween. I think that's why I get so confused with like when Christmas is, because Halloween's like bam. Halloween is not even like over. And it's like all the Halloween decorations is gone within 3 days. And then before Halloween, Christmas is already up. And I'm just like, I'm still on Halloween, guys. Like,
people get so annoyed.
And that's why everyone's, I was like, nope, because you know what? It's Christmas year round. I just feel like it's just going to be Christmas year round from now on.
That's hilarious.
So when the actual date pops up, it's hard, right? Plus, I have my daughter's birthdays on the 19th. Then we got Christmas, and then I have my son's birthday on the 28th. So guess what? It's just a big party in December for us in our house anyways. Just one big party. So I don't think that's why I think Christmas for us is harder in the middle of their birthdays.
Wow. Good times.
Yeah. So what's the one thing that if you can tell somebody on your journey, what's one challenge that you faced as becoming
An entrepreneur. All right. I definitely say it was like a huge learning curve, stepping into this new career, this new thing. And I just didn't know what to do. Like I would sit at my desk every day and start utilizing the internet and doing things and talking to people, reaching out to people, going to a lot of networking events. I just didn't know if I was doing the right thing. I just felt like I was on this little island by myself. And that's why I sought a life coach. That's why I reached out. And that was huge. It was a 6-month agreement. And man, it meant everything. And something very significant happened during my coaching with her. It was a personal thing that had nothing to do with business. And it was a very difficult time in my life. So it was perfect that I had her to talk to and reach out to about that as well. 2 weeks after I walked away from the hospital, I was sitting at my desk working because I didn't know what I was doing. My phone I love. And I got a phone call from my oldest nephew. He called to tell me that his mom took her life, my sister, and I hadn't talked to her in 6 years. And she took her life with alcohol, the same way that our mom did. It was a really hard time. 2 months, I tried my best to stop it. I was going to meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous. I was reaching out to a sponsor. I was helping others. I was being a service right and left. I was meditating. I was doing all the things, but it just became too much. So many things. And I had 17 major losses, deaths in my family. My sister was number 17. But for some reason, that death was just like, it hit me the hardest. And I wanted to drink and I wanted to die. I shared in a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. I said, my mom was 45 or 47 when she took her life with alcohol. My sister was 45. I said, I'm 44 and I'm going to beat those bitches. And I'm going to drink and I'm going to jump off the Coronado Bridge here in San Diego. I allowed my thoughts to create that experience. And I know not to do that anymore. I will never let I know that my experience of anything is my thoughts about the experience. And there came a moment when my desire to live was just a little bit higher than my desire to take my life. I made a powerful decision. I turned myself into a psychiatric hospital here in San Diego, December 5th through 8th. So just over a year ago. And I chose that instead. And I got to the other side of it and I didn't drink. And here I am.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing this, because I think this is going to be so vulnerable and so crucial for people to hear your story, because these negative thoughts, whether they're just as severe with yours or just as small as who's going to listen to me today, or we're on this live and it's, oh, maybe we're not going to have any views, but that's the point. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter what comes in. It's the voice that you are stating to whoever it is in front of you. That's all that matters. Or the biggest thought that matters is what you tell yourself. And mind over matter. I tell people all the time, in order for true success to occur, you got to challenge your own mind and learn to embrace those thoughts, but turn it into something positive. Because all those negative thoughts, they're always going to be there. You just have to learn to quiet it down. I have not met one person who says that they have not had a negative thought or have done something negative. Even Steve Hardison, he got upset with somebody that was cleaning the room or something occurred. And then he was upset in that moment. And then later he's, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And apologized and brought him on stage and did this whole thing. Not because of the goodness of his heart. He just realized who he was being in that moment was because of an emotion or a thought that was created in his own head. And we all do this. And I think that what I want to acknowledge you for is that you are a powerhouse for other people's voice. And for other people who don't have a voice and are in those thoughts, if you guys have any of those thoughts, whoever is listening, please reach out to her or reach out to me. Because these negative thoughts, if you're ever in this world, if you feel alone, you are not alone. Don't want to put that out there just because we're talking a really heavy subject at the moment. So if anyone's out there that comes in, please reach out to me or Angela. We'll get on a call with you 100%. Comes in. But it's, how did that shape you now as a coach? A lot of people don't like to talk about. And I'm very proud of you for talking on this, because this is a subject dear and near to a lot of people.
I've heard a lot in my life the statement, "This too shall pass."
Mm-hmm.
Now it means something completely different to me, because when I was in that dark place, like, that didn't occur to me, like, that it's gonna pass. It just felt like the end. And so as a coach, I tell my clients, I'm gonna teach you how to think. And they're like, they don't understand that. They're like, "You're gonna teach me how to think?" That's why I'm here being coached by you, because I'm really good at thinking and I think too much. And I said, there's a difference between thinking and mental chatter.
Yes. You want to explain that a little bit more?
Yeah. So that mental chatter, my subconscious mind got me just like all this nonsense in my childhood, and it drug all this stuff up. My grandfather died of alcohol. My mother died of alcohol. My sister died of alcohol. Of course I'm next. Those are the thoughts that I was having. But that wasn't my true self. It wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
It was my subconscious mind dragging all this stuff up. And so I'm able to now, I tattooed the word now on me to remind me that when I'm in the present, I win. Now spelled backwards is WON. So it helps me tremendously as a coach, because I understand so many things at a deep level, because I've been through so much.
Yeah. And the now is one backwards. And a lot of people may or may not have noticed that. But when you win, you won, meaning won in past tense, because the present is now preceded. So when you think of the word now and you think back, you have won, because you've accomplished what you are supposed to accomplish in that present moment. And I love that. I love that.
But I'm in the now, I fucking win. Let's go.
But it's the truth, right? And when we talk about being present, and presence means, a lot of people are like, oh, presence means you can't be distracted, and you can't be on your phone, and you can't be like, you gotta be like this. There's like, you gotta blinders. Like this blinders on. I gotta be here and I have to like fully dedicate. And the answer is no, you don't. Like, that's not present. Present is just you are being fully conscious of the actual words that is coming out from somebody. And if somebody sits there and goes, huh, and they look away, that's not them being distracted. That's them fully understanding what is consciously happening to them to respond in a place of where they're present. And I think a lot of people get lost in that silence. Right? So when I ask somebody, Angela, how are you today?
Fantastic. Whether I'm fantastic or not. Poke that into my reality.
Right. And I pause. Do you know how many times people stare at me for a second and then they're like, am I supposed to answer this? And I'm like, yeah, I asked how you are doing, but they were expecting me to say more. And then it's like a cycle, right? But when you sit there with the power of a pause and they're really like, oh, yeah, how am I doing today?
You actually care? You're not just saying, how are you doing, just to say, how are you doing?
Exactly. And those are the thoughts. Those are the things. Those are the wins that we're talking about, where it's like people are really going to feel that connection. And that is like a real place of being versus just like, oh, how are you doing today? Oh, that's great. Huh? Wonderful. If you're waiting for the next thing to come.
Yeah, I love that. What that word pause makes me think of what I learned, that I have a pause button. And when I heard that, I'm like, what does that mean? Oh, I get to pause and respond instead of react. What a concept.
The pause button. It's really, I used to have a button on my thing where that was too easy. I think I need to bring him back some days because it really does. There's a pause. Like there's one that does have a pause on it. And if you push it, it just really gives you that moment of clarity of what you want to do in that moment. And it's so important, whether you're doing motivational speaking, whether you're doing clients, whether you're being an activist in the world, slowing down in your tonality and giving people that time to fully respond, not react, is totally different.
AngelaMayora.com. I have a speaking page on there showing where I've spoken before and where you can reach out for an inquiry on that.
What's one of your favorite talks so far?
Love and Leadership. It was an event I had downtown San Diego. It was beautiful. 34th floor. You could see the city, the ocean, everything. It was incredible. I asked my brother to speak with me, and he's also a motivational speaker and a life coach. And we blew the roof off of that place.
Yes. How do you find your leads? As entrepreneurs, everyone wants to know the how, right? We talk about things, we come up and everyone's like, how did you do this? How are you going here? How do you create this? There's no secret sauce to anything. You just fucking do it. But no one believes, sometimes people don't believe me. So I like to ask other people with, how do you do it? Like, how are you getting to the 34th floor with this fantastic view and speaking in front of amazing people?
Networking. Networking has caused like so much greatness in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Because of networking, I have 7 businesses.
Oh.
And people say the sky is the limit, and that fucking drives me crazy because there is no limit.
There's no limit.
But it's just networking and getting out there and meeting people and talking to people. And I just recently started getting involved with social media and just meeting people like how we're talking right now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be in person, but that's been everything. And then just getting on calls with people just to meet them. And then they start asking questions and I answer their questions. And I recently met with somebody and she couldn't afford my one-on-one coaching. So I created something for her, a virtual coaching program, very affordable. And she has access to me basically 24/7. And she really needed me. So I meditated on it. And then I reached out to her the next day and I created a package for her. And she was so excited about it. And she signed up for it. But that's what we do. We just meet people, talk to people. And here's the main thing for me, like that I have a deep understanding of why this is so important. But it's getting underneath people. It's getting underneath things. I'm not going out there. I'm not looking for clients. Clients are coming to me. I'm not looking for it. I'm doing all the things and all I care about every day is being of service. How can I help somebody else? If I could tell someone struggling, even on social media, I have a call on Sunday with somebody that's struggling and I'm going to be helping him with manifestation because that's my superpower. And I'm so excited. I can't wait for that call. How can I help? Like, how can I be of service? I'm not charging him anything to meet with me. I coach people for hours and I don't charge them a thing.
Yeah.
Like, and because I do that, like things just come.
Yeah. And I'm happy you said that. So you're trusting the universe. You're trusting the process is what I'm hearing. And a lot of people have said this. Only 1% of coaches makes it in this world. You know why? The other 97 or the 96 or the 99% is because they don't trust the process. And they're out there trying to sell versus trying to serve.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
And it's the truth. When you go to these networking events, you just find them, right? Like word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just go out and just talk to people. I have at the grocery store, that's networking, right? It doesn't have to be like a certain event at a certain time. I'm going out with my wife tonight to do Christmas stuff and I'm going to be talking to people because that's what I do.
That's the number one thing I want people to understand is that networking doesn't always necessarily mean you're going to an event. Networking means it's a place of being and a place where you love to talk about yourself, not in a way of bragging, not in a way of, oh my God, there should be us talking about. It's because you're coming from a place of service. And 99% of all my large organizations, all of my stuff has been through networking in a place where everyone's, oh my God, oh, this is what's really needed. This service is really needed. I would love for you to connect with so-and-so and do this. Okay, let's go. And you show up with no intentions of having these deals or having these conversations. You just show up and saying, okay, I'm here to serve. How can I support you? It goes a long way. Yeah. Versus a lot of people sit there and they go, well, how much do you charge? I just tell them priceless.
Yeah.
Because it's not yes, if you're really wanting to do that. And if the money the money objection is always there. Right. And I just tell them, when you come from a place of service, they're going to want to pay you. They're going to want to pay you.
I want a client. I don't need a client. If somebody says no, like that's not going to change my life at all,
It's okay.
but it could change theirs dramatically. And if they don't want, that's okay too.
It's okay. But they'll
Powerful.
come back when they need you.
Yeah.
And they always do. I've had people come back to me 6, 7, 8 months later. And back then they were like, Bina, if I hired you last September, they go, we weren't ready to hear your voice. Right?
Time.
The timing was incorrect. They were very honest with me. They go, we just weren't with that. I have a client who's a one-on-one client with me right now. And she goes, I'm now able to receive everything you have done. And now she's doing corporate events. She's doing speeches. She's doing mindfulness at areas of places that I never thought I was going to dream of this. But I said, because now you're ready to receive. When you're ready to receive, it's crazy how business just takes off. And she now understands that. Whereas 6 months ago, I would have never understood that. I said, yeah, but then if you're not ready to receive and people are having a negative notation, meaning like, I'm not getting clients, I'm not doing this. There's a lot of negativity behind it. It's then people become like, oh, you're the bad coach. I'm like, but okay. That's okay too. Because you have to have that process. And if you're not ready to receive, just like in your powerhouse, people are ready to receive about manifestations, then they're going to get the transformation that they're going to get.
Yeah. 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 Timing is everything. Absolutely. The time to receive, it has to be there or it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Now you said something interesting. You have 7 businesses. I want to know all 7. I only know about 1. Where the other 6 come from?
Oh man. So this logo behind me is I own 5 MAZE, Maze of Life Resource Centers. I own San Diego, Los Angeles, Riverside, Tampa, and Phoenix.
And what does that do?
It's an incredible organization. We offer classes in the form of either in person or online. We do different things like anger management, counseling, therapy, life coaching through there as well, health coaching, domestic violence, alcohol awareness, thinking for a change. We work with the courts through probation. We offer a bunch of different services and it's incredible. We're going to be going worldwide. I told Maze of Life my very first day. I actually found them because I started thinking about leaving the hospital, and one night, because I work nights, I was sitting there and I Googled businesses for sale San Diego just to see what was out there. And Maze of Life popped up. I don't know what, it was my intuition that made me think to Google that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many people don't live from the inside out? People don't understand that you have your 5 senses and people live off of those. Sight, taste, touch, smell, hear. They live off of those instead of their higher faculties, intuition being one of them. And so I'm so glad I listened to my intuition and I Googled that because I found Maze of Life on my very first day with them. I raised my hand in the class and I said, you guys aren't going to have enough anger management specialists to support what I'm going to create.
Yeah.
And I said, and I'm not dumb. I'm going to buy 5 franchises right now because I know they're going to be a lot more after what I create. And I did what I said. I brought artificial intelligence on board and there's no limits. And we're just on a mission to impact the world. So I get to do that. And I have some business partners and we have a consortium where we're going to be funding projects all over the world. We're just getting started.
And if you ever need support or if you ever need other collaborations, we got to talk offline because that is fantastic. Again, y'all, this is all real talk. I did not know any of this when she came on, but we're going to create something here.
Let's go.
We're going to create something.
We're going to be funding food and water security, energy productions. We're taking on commodities, so gold mines. I'm about to get gold mine funded, different things, real estate, education. That's huge funding projects. But all of these things just came to me because
networking.
I'm about to get $1.3 million in February.
Congratulations.
I introduce people. That's my superpower. Because everything is energy. And if I come with good energy, positive energy, what's going to come? We plant what we get, right?
We plant what we get.
I'm not going to plant an apple seed and get a watermelon.
And what is this $1.3 million? Is it an industry or comes up?
Oh, I've been trying to help this gentleman for a couple of years he's a miner. He finds lucrative gold mines, rare earth metal mines. I've been trying to help him for 2 years to find funding. And we found him funding. So I get a little piece of that. I didn't do anything. I just introduced people.
That's awesome.
The universe did it.
It's funny how the universe brings people together. And I love it. I love how the worlds collide and you don't understand sometimes why, like even random, like energetically. I want to interview Angela. No rationale. Welcome to, I didn't know who you were. I mean, I heard of you. I'm not going to lie, no one. I knew of you. I was like, she looks like a cool cat. And you are. Like, more and more I'm getting to know you here on this live. I'm just like, wow. Imagine with my superpowers and your superpowers. What can we do?
What can we create? Let's go.
What can we create? And I'm all about creating. I'm all about innovative. I'm all about what else can you do to challenge yourself more? And people always ask me to go, don't you have enough on your plate? I get this a lot. They go, with 3 kids with special needs. I don't know if you know this, but I have 3 children with special needs. And all of them are, my house is fucking crazy. Like, it's just goddamn crazy. It's insane. Between my kids' schedules alone, I don't even know how I have time for 2 businesses, let alone anything else. Because the kids' schedule is just insane. And someone asked me this a couple of days ago. They go, do you want to slow down? And I said, tell you one thing. Every time I slow down, it's like a rocket scientist that I just like, nope, the universe is telling me to go here. And I'm not kidding. December was supposed to be like, oh, I'm going to just slow down. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put some of my systems back into place. I'm going to do whatever it was, right? And then the universe was like, we're going to throw an extra company in there for you today. We're going to start you on January something or December. Thank you. And then I told myself, I'm going to slow down in January. Not going to happen. So in my head, I'm just like, you know what? Let's just go. Because it's fun.
It's so fun. My mentor, Casey, she gave me a nickname.
Race car? NASCAR?
Yeah, so I bought this little thing on Amazon. I love it. She calls me NASCAR. She said, you don't slow down on the curves. I was like, nope. Ain't nobody got time for that. It's because of our energy. That's why we're not tired. Yes, I sleep 8 hours a night. But I want
less.
Yeah, but when I'm awake, man, game over.
Yeah.
But I can say that while I'm on here, because I know a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs are listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that I'm super grateful for, is that I found a mentor.
Yes.
I had a life coach. Our contract ended. Immediately I hired another one because I felt like I outgrew her.
Yeah.
So now I have a Loke, and that's been life-changing.
Yes, I know. Look, I've been in contact.
He's amazing. And so that was 2 coaches that I paid for. But then I also asked Casey, who's the founder of Maze of Life Resource Center. My intuition told me one day when I was walking into the bank with my wife to ask Casey to be my mentor. And I've never had a mentor. Like, I knew what that meant at the time. And I'm glad I didn't brush it off. Yeah. I texted her, how do you ask somebody to be your mentor?
Yeah.
Immediately she texted me back. She said, you just ask them. And so then I texted her back, will you be my mentor? And she said yes. And that relationship
is just amazing. It's everything.
I don't pay her anything. She does it out of the kindness of her heart. So if you're out there and you can't afford a life coach, or you just need help, ask somebody that you look up to, that will you mentor me? Like, wow, that's huge.
I'm so happy you said that, because it is the honest truth. And I've mentored many people in my career. And people, you've been doing this for what, 14 months? I've been doing this for about 14 months. I just started last April, to be honest, is when I decided to do this. And we were talking about leaving bedside together and all these weird interactions. I think it's all just the universe is just saying that you're going and think. I don't think I've ever met somebody who is on the same energy level and trajectory as I am. So I'm actually really blessed to meet you today, because I think I've met my match. In a good way.
We're not competing. We're building each other up. Let's go. Let's grow.
I had somebody reach out recently, and no one in my association has nothing to do with any of that. And someone's like, did you want to slow down? And they're like, do you not think you have enough on your plate right now? And I'm like, no, because this is what I love to do. When I wake up, granted, there's days I only have 2 hours of sleep because of my children. But even then, I still take my calls. I still do what I need to do. Even at a soccer game, I'm sitting there and I have these multiple conversations. Everyone's like, oh, I want to do this and let's go here. Wonderful. Let's go. And my husband tells me, he goes, how do you have all this energy? I said, because it's just what I love to do. Granted, a lot of it is a special needs world. A lot of it is in the transformational world, right? But transformation is in every space. So it doesn't matter whether it's recovering alcoholics, pigs, all of this stuff. It all is within that transformation space. But I'm so excited that I met somebody who's just as fast, maybe faster than me. And I did less race.
I said I could speak on anything. Give me 2 hours on any subject I have no clue about, and I will be expert at that thing.
Yeah.
Like, done. What do you need me to speak on? Like,
I have ideas for you.
Can't wait to hear them.
I have some ideas that we'll talk offline for. Because it's insane. It's lovely because I've done a couple of speeches this past couple of years. I also work with Jamin. So we've been working on a couple of speeches and it's the truth. Some people are like, how do you have time for this? You just create it. And guess what? You have to have the support behind it. I right now currently I had 3 mentors. I just let go of one. And now I have 2 mentors. But me and Alec have a very personal relationship in that sense. But Jamin has been one of my biggest sponsors in the thing. And you have to reinvest in yourself. Right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, those are too expensive or this or that. But when you reinvest in yourself, that growth or that knowledge, and I always tell this, Jamin's like a personal AI. Like, I don't know, that gentleman you can sucks you up and bam, his speech comes out and you're like, how are you in my head? I don't understand. That's exactly what I was thinking, but he puts it on a paper for you and you're just like, okay, thanks. You just made that real easy.
Jamin Patel, guys, he is incredible. If you're interested in speaking.
And everyone knows it. We've done and everyone comes up, I'll re-tag everybody for his talk that I did with him because you got to get the correct help. So I'm really happy that you stated that. And again, and it's true, if you can't afford something, people are willing to mentor the correct people. Because people are going to be out there and be like asking people for motivation. Can you be my mentor? Can you be my mentor? But you have to show that passion. You have to show that drive. And you have to really show that commitment. And I think if you show that commitment to anyone, any person that's out there, I guarantee you the proper mentor will say yes to you.
Yeah. When you're ready, the teacher appears. Yeah, because I am interested in mentoring or coaching anybody that doesn't want to change.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can say yes to somebody and then all of a sudden this person you said yes to, you're like dragging your feet across. You're just like, dude, come on. Like somebody has to be as fast as you. Right?
Yeah.
To keep up. Because it's like with our type of personalities, like we're on from one, bam, we're on to the next. While this is building, bam, we're on to the next project already. And people still have a hard time. Ask my lovely Caitlin, I love you, my assistant. She's always just, I didn't talk to you for 5 days. And you're telling me you got a new contract. You have this going. You have to sign this. You have X, Y, and Z going. I'm like, she's like, what the fuck? She goes, I didn't talk to you for 5 days. I was like, yeah, that's what's happened. And it's fun. But I still have to reach out to a couple of people later today about conversation, like following up with the conversations. I think that's another thing people have to remember is that when you network and comes up, it's all about those follow-ups.
Yeah, that's
that
everything.
engagement.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the one takeaway? If you can give somebody advice, what's the one thing that you'd want people to be left with your knowledge?
Nothing changes until everything changes. So if something's happening in my life that I'm not happy with, then all I need to do is look at myself. Who am I being? And then work on that, work on me. I picture it like a hula hoop. Got a hula hoop going, Got the hula. Oh,
I can't hula hoop for the life of me anymore.
can't either, but I can do this. If it's inside my hula hoop,
Yes.
it's my business. If it's not inside my hula hoop, it's none of my business.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a hard one for me to get, and I finally got it, and that had to change. Nothing changes until everything changes. I tell my clients, show up dumb. Take everything that you know about what you think you know about manifestation or whatever the topic is and forget about it. I show up dumb. I'm working on my PhD. I show up dumb. I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot of things from you, Bina, and I might teach.
And likewise.
But we have to be open for it, right? We can't show up acting like we know everything.
Yeah.
So nothing changes until everything changes. That was a huge lesson for me to realize that. I couldn't keep drinking, and if I was still drinking, none of what I've created would have became to fruition. None of it. I had to get sober. Everything had to change. I had to quit hanging out with certain people. I had to change everything.
And sometimes it's hard to do. And I want to appreciate you for doing the uncomfortable.
Thank you. I appreciate that acknowledgement. It wasn't easy, and just the thought of it, the thought of never drinking again. I thought I wasn't going to be funny anymore. I'm fucking funny still. I thought I wasn't going to be able to dance anymore. Look at me now. Everything I thought I couldn't be.
Yeah.
Unless I was drunk. It was a lie.
Yeah.
It wasn't my true self. And I believe that most people are doing one thing, at least one thing that they aren't proud of. And it's okay to let it go. It's okay to be uncomfortable because that's where the growth happens. Man, I'm so grateful for our time together, for everything that's transpired in my life. I'm so happy we met.
Me too. I'm waiting for it. I'm going to see what we're going to create because this is going to be fun.
Yeah, we live closer to each other, right?
You're still in San Diego?
I am in San Diego.
Oh, yeah. I'm in Dublin. I'm only a flight away. Not that far. I come to San Diego quite often.
Nice. I don't know why I could see us speaking on stage. I can't wait to talk to you.
Oh, I would love to go back. I did it a couple of times. Now I'm fully actively looking and I'm manifesting it. Comes in. I am doing a summit in January that's going to be called Super Mom CEO. And just telling the world that you can do it. You can be a mom and have 3 kids with special needs and be successful. Success is just a blanket term, right? And telling people, just go with your gut, go with your intuition, slow down to speed right back up, because I try slowing down. Yeah, that shit don't work. But when I do slow down, I slow down in my presence. I don't slow down in business. So when I am feeling overwhelmed or my kids are all having a meltdown at the same time, I slow myself down in those moments. When my business is growing on an exponential rate and I got to make decisions in fraction amount of time, that's when I slow down. When we talk about slowing down, that's what we're talking, or what I talk about slowing. That's like your business can go as fast as it wants. You just have to keep up with it by slowing your mind down so you can make the clear decisions that you need to.
Yeah, meditation has been huge for me. That's what slowed my mind down. It's everything. And it's a practice. People think it has to be a certain way. And people think that meditation is controlling your thoughts. No, it's not letting your thoughts control you. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts that run through our mind every day. I'm good. I'm amazing. I could do anything, but I can't control what comes in. But I can control what I choose to attach myself to, my negative thoughts and positive thoughts.
It's the attachment that you want to choose. And when people talk about meditation and they're like, oh my God, I got to sit still for 20 minutes. You don't have to. You do realize you can walk and meditate at the same time. You could be in the shower and meditate. Guess where I meditate? Where my kids are not. Where I even told somebody, you can even meditate when you're on the toilet. It's just slowing that brain down in that moment and just being peace with what you are doing and the choice of where your thoughts you want to take and which ones you want to react to in a positive way. Like I can walk out, I can yell at my kids, but that's not going to do nothing. It's just going to rile them right back up. There's no reason for it. But if I slow myself down and I sit on the ground, which I do all the time in the middle of my living room, and I'll start playing the music, or we'll start putting something on, you'll see all of a sudden I just start putting breath work in, or I'll put relaxing music on, or the lights dim because everyone went to freaking hell that day. I don't know. You'll notice that energy, that meditation that I'm doing or I'm creating, all my kids will gravitate towards me and they'll all just sit. And all of a sudden they're just like, and I'll ask them, why were you so upset? I don't know. Are you calm now? Yes. Okay. And then they go back and then they run off and they do their own thing. But guess what? They're not screaming at me anymore. It's the power of the pause.
Yes. I like to meditate when I'm driving.
But you could just don't react to that. Yeah, you can't. People can't. That's what I'm saying. You can meditate wherever and whenever. It's you're in the zone of your own genius. That's all it is. It's when you are in the zone of your own genius. And I talk to myself all the time. I tell myself when I meditate, I'm like, do I want to do this? Probably not. And my kids will do like, are you talking to yourself again? I'm like, yep, sure am. I need to express this out into the universe. Yeah. Angela, it's always a pleasure. You are a blessing. You are a speed of light. I can't wait to see you in January. Can't wait to hear your speech in January because you're also talking, correct?
Correct. Yes, I'm speaking on adversity.
Awesome. Yeah. And maybe one of these days they'll invite me to speak. And it's
Put it out there. You got it.
I just throw it out there. I tell people it's just fun. It's motivating. I think it's also, and we'll talk more offline, but there's a lot of I'm still new into this world, into the coaching world as you are, but I'm proud of what you've done. I appreciate you being totally vulnerable on here. And if you guys want to reach out to Angela, how do they find you again?
AngelaMayora.com. ANGELA Mayora MAYORA.com.
And I'll also be tagging her on this live in about shortly after once we get off. So you'll be able to reach out to her directly as well.
Awesome. It's called The Ultimate Experience. It is in Phoenix, January 26th, 27th. We can share the link on that. And that event is going to be life-changing, and it's focused on who we're being.
Yes. Yes. So I appreciate you saying that. And we'll also put the link in. Actually, Angela, if you don't mind, once we're done, we can put the link on the bottom. So whoever's listening that does want to show up, that wants to come in, we would love to meet you there live. It's a great place to be. And there are amazing speakers. Angela is one of them. And there's going to be amazing other people who we've encountered with or spoken to. So I just can't wait to hear what everybody has to say. Yay. So until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next week. And if we not, then we will conclude here. And thank you everyone for watching our live. This will be on. And like I said, for all the other ones, these will all go onto my YouTube by the end of the year. I try to slow down. It will show up, I promise. And thank you guys. Thank you all.